Welcome to Prime Luxury. From kidnappings to attempted assassinations, personal protective officers, better known as bodyguards, are seen as the preserve of royalty, celebrities, and political figures alike. But as the number of high net worth individuals continues to grow, bodyguards are now in demand for an increasing and diverse range of clients. But just what makes a person worth protecting, you might ask? You're about to find out. These are the most heavily guarded billionaires in the world. Number 8. Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump is an American real estate heir businessman and the former president of the United States with an estimated net worth of $2.5 billion. Obviously, the position of former US president have always come with its own security detail, which means it also comes with a steep budget. Additionally, Trump has also enlisted his own personal protection detail to work simultaneously with the Secret Service. Number 7. Pope Francis. The Pope is both the Bishop of Rome and ex officio leader of the world. As the head of the Catholic Church, and just like the president of a country, he too needs the utmost protection. The Pope resides in probably one of the more heavily armored cities in the world, Vatican City, a city-state by Rome, Italy. Even as you walk through the streets, you can see all the stoic guards dressed in antiquated armor carrying equally dated spears. That's right, the Pope is being protected by spears. But don't be fooled, these armored guards are actually a high-end military force made up of ex-Swiss soldiers who can subdue a threat in mere seconds. Aside from the spears, they also have the finest collection of firearms hidden away in case need arises. The Swiss Guard is over 500 years old, making it the longest-standing military in the world. When it was officially founded by Pope Julius II in 1506, the Guard was actually a mercenary force that is still renowned to this day for some of the most decisive victories during the skirmishes that were taking place in and around Rome. Who better to protect such a holy figure than an army that has withstood 500 years of onslaught? Number 6. Kim Jong-un. The world quickly became fascinated with the protection of North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un when they saw his security detail running alongside his armored limousine during a visit to Singapore. How exactly does a man go about his day while being constantly paranoid about assassination attempts and competition from within his own circle of power? As it turns out, Kim Jong-un doesn't just have a personal Secret Service detail protecting him from close range. He has his own 100,000-man army with a command structure that reports directly to him. This unit is known as the Supreme Guard Command. You would hardly be able to tell his detail is surrounding him at all times, as they virtually disappear into the backgrounds and spectacles. Not only does this unit serve to protect their leader, but it's also used as propaganda tool. Kim Jong-un is trying to relay the idea of his supposed near-sacred importance by saying that he is untouchable, while actually attempting to protect his herbal regime from inside sabotage. Number 5. Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen's security forces are impressive, yet something of a mixed bag. Her defense's most visible and famous line is the iconic tall-hatted Queen's Guard. While the Royal Guards are mostly known for their elaborate marching spectacles and unflinching poker face, they're very far from the joke some tourists take them as, and can perfectly mess you up if you overstep. Security personnel guard the Buckingham Palace 24/7 and are more conventional than the Queen's Guard in their toy uniforms. There was a case in which one of the security personnel nearly shot the Queen on one of her late-night strolls. However, when they need to keep Her Royal Highness safe, she's guarded by the Royal Protection Squad. This elite Scotland squad was formed in 1983 and reportedly consists of up to 185 specially trained officers with various degrees of James Bondness. Number 4. Jeff Bezos. A new set of problems arise when you enter the rich and famous world: safety and security. That would mean that the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, probably has to take precautions to ensure his own safety, right? Jeff Bezos has lots of bodyguards. Not only has he invested in the protection of his own personal bodyguards, but he also has to invest in other extensive security measures. With the amount of fortune he's amassed, Bezos has had to ensure the security of his friends, family, and close colleagues from any form of threat. Jeff Bezos has a net worth that sits somewhere around $200 billion, and with that much money, many safety concerns arise. Meanwhile, those safety concerns are not just for himself, but for family, friends, and close colleagues. People like kidnappers could try to hold him or his family for a massive ransom due to his wealth. There's also the inevitable hate that other people may have towards Bezos. Some of that hate has been from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Bezos came under fire of the Saudis after his newspaper, The Washington Post, published incriminating stories surrounding the death of Jamal Khashoggi. Although Bezos does not have a hand in what The Washington Post publishes, that did not stop the Saudis from attacking him. Gavin de Becker, Bezos' chief of security, found that the Saudis were responsible for hacking Jeff Bezos' phone and sending private information to the National Enquirer. Being under the attack of an entire nation definitely means Bezos needs some backup. He uses Gavin de Becker's company, Gavin de Becker and Associates, for his own personal security due to the deep trust that he has in them. According to recent reports, Jeff Bezos spends around $1.6 million a year on personal security. Whether it's hiring a personal entourage of bodyguards or installing bulletproof glass in his office, Bezos does need to ensure his own safety. As the second wealthiest man in the world, taking risks when it comes to security is not an option. Number 3. El Chapo Guzman. There are so many well-known names behind the prison walls. Yet, with all that notoriety, no other prisoner is more heavily protected than Mr. Joaquin Guzman's, the Sinaloa cartel drug lord whom the world knows as El Chapo. El Chapo has been arrested several times and has always managed to escape his confinement. Since he was rearrested in 2016 and extradited to the United States, he now resides in prison in Manhattan, New York. The drug lord, who has a proven history of killing his enemies even in prison, is under watch 24 hours a day by armed guards, guarded by a different set of trained security personnel. He has to sleep in a separate cell each night, and a dog has to taste his food in case of poisoning. Mr. Guzman has complained about the prison condition, such as being locked in his cell for 23 hours a day. Except for his lawyer and court visits, he has been denied outside contact with his family and the media. He certainly has become an advocate for prison reform. Should this serial prison escapee, accused of killing thousands during Mexico's bloody drug wars, escape again, his entire heavy security group will face the wrath of his victims. Number 2. Mark Zuckerberg. Nothing about Facebook is a secret anymore, including the CEO Mark Zuckerberg's personal security budget. Since 2015, Mark Zuckerberg has spent around $20 million annually on security, with $7.3 million going toward his own personal bodyguards for his home and travels. These bodyguards are sometimes called Zuckerberg's secret police. Some rumors suggest that the detail is made up of 16 full-time guards that work in shifts at all times. This amount of money in total is considered a record for security costs of any CEO of a large corporation. Under Mr. Zuckerberg's overall security program, Facebook pays for expenses related to personal security at his residences and during private trips. The company also covers the annual costs of the procurement, installation, and maintenance of specific security measures for his homes, the company said. Mark Zuckerberg's close protection officers go the extra mile to wear civilian clothes to stay hidden. He's also escorted everywhere, in public and private outings, and driven everywhere he goes. Facebook's chief operating officer, Sheryl Sandberg, also has a constant security protection program similar to Zuckerberg's, exemplifying the gravity of Facebook executives' protection. Number 1. Vladimir Putin. Like other political figures in Russia, Vladimir Putin is protected by the Federal Protective Service. However, Putin's people seem to be an entirely different bundle altogether. Little is known about the workings of Putin's arm in the Federal Protective Service, as there's no public data about its operations and publicly available reports. It's so secretive that only assumptions can be made about what they do. Vladimir himself is a controversial figure that has been at the center of media attention since his first acting presidency. It was noted that the man had started growing a sort of personality cult around him, similar to some previous leaders. Although there aren't any giant statues of him being put up, he has become an internet icon in his own right, which has kept him within the public realm. That often is something that doesn't come without its prices. Of course, the populist view of this leader is extremely polarized due to the political and financial corruption of his cabinet, which has resulted in countless protests, threats, and assassination attempts. All that has made it necessary for Putin to ramp up security in his own unique way. Former bodyguards for the Russian President Vladimir Putin have gained immense power in exchange for their unquestioned loyalty. Let us know your comments, who you think should be the most protected. Thanks for watching.